Hello and welcome back. It's Ryan once again from Cycling 101. Today I wanted to chat a little bit about bike fitting. Lots and lots of requests and questions surrounding benefits of bike fit, who should or should not get a fit. The explosion in the bike industry has really got a lot of new folks on bikes, people who maybe don't have a whole lot of body awareness, and are just out there wanting to pedal, super, super eager. So I wanted to kind of put this together so that, maybe a few of you can share with each other some of the benefits of actually getting a bicycle fit by a professional, what it can do for your riding, and why you would even want to consider it. So, excuse me, today I'm going to separate this bike fit conversation into two parts. So this will be part one. And in part one, we want to talk about pavement and gravel. So, we want to look at like commuter bikes, fitness style bikes, road bikes, triathlon bikes, and gravel as kind of our main go-tos for this one. In part two, I will address the mountain bike fit. Completely different beast, so I didn't really want to confuse anything here, and the videos probably would have gone a little bit too long. So starting with any type of bicycle that you're using to commute, using for fitness, using to go long distances like a road bike, or race like a triathlon bike, or even a gravel bike, you want to make sure that when you invest all of the money into the purchase of the bike, that obviously you're starting off on the right foot by buying a bicycle that will do all of the things that you want to do. So, narrowing down those categories first and foremost will really help. Each one of those styles of bikes may actually kind of slide you into a different size of bike. So making sure that you're, really paying attention to what the bike's intended uses are before you even purchase the bicycle is a really good start. From there, you want to make sure that you have knowledgeable friends or staff or whatever it might be in a bike shop to help you size the bike. Now, a lot of people get very confused between bike sizing and bike fitting. So some people will say, well, I'm 5'8", I need a 56 centimeter road bike, or they get told they need that for their height, and all of a sudden they think they were fit for the bike. So not everyone is is the same proportion. So arm length, leg length, torso length, all of that stuff plays into consideration when we're looking at a bicycle size. So like a 56 centimeter road bike, that can be fit in many, many different ways for people of all different body types, that kind of stuff. So once you have the right size of bike, then from there, before even going out and test riding a bicycle to see if you like it, my advice really is that if you're new to cycling and you buy what we would call a big bike brand bicycle, so a Trek, a Giant, a Specialized, a Scott, Da Vinci, or anything that comes from a company that has been around for a long time and is immersed in the bicycle world, that they're not making barbecues or patio furniture in another department or hockey gear. The companies that put the time and energy into the bikes that they make, any one of those bicycle manufacturers will have a bicycle that will work just perfectly fine for you. The difference between one brand and the next, there are going to be subtle nuances that you probably won't even be able to discern. What you will discern, though, is if you're on the wrong size of bike, or you will notice if the bike is not properly set up. So test riding a bicycle, unless you have a decade or two worth of experience and you're looking for something very, very particular in the bicycle, I highly recommend that you wait to really pass solid judgment on the bike after the fit. Main reasons being obviously like a seat that's too high or too far back, or handlebars that aren't in the right place might create some undue pressure points on your undercarriage, hands, feet, whatever it might be. And that might just be a small adjustment And if you pass judgment on that, then you're maybe selling yourself short on that particular bike. So that's kind of the first little bit. Once you've decided on a bike brand, the genre, all of that stuff, I would highly recommend seeking out somebody who has bike fitting experience. Now, bike fitting experience is typically not your bike shop mechanic. It's typically not your um, your base sales person in a bike shop either. Usually it's someone who has some sort of accreditation. There's a number of different bike fit methodologies that are used by Trek, by Specialized, Retool. There's all kinds of different ones out there. It doesn't really matter which one you go with. They all kind of guide you down the same kind of hallway where they will address very specific things. Now, the way that I look at bike fitting, I've been a bike fitter for almost 20 years, and I really like to think about fitting as number one being a thing about comfort. Comfort is at the top of the list. Second is going to be control and safety. So making sure that everything is reachable, like brake levers, the handlebar positioning, all of that stuff is properly done. Then from there, we look at stuff like efficiency and generation of power. Because we don't have any wind tunnels locally to test aerodynamics, we really take aerodynamics and we throw that one to the very bottom of the list, down with aesthetics. So those two things kind of sit there, and we really focus in on making sure that the bicycle is fitting you so that you're really, really comfortable and it's meeting your expectations. Every rider that gets on a bike has a different idea of what they want to do on that bicycle. It could be a 30-minute commute twice a day. It could be a 90-minute ride on the weekends. It could be, a training on a bike trainer throughout the winter months and doing their first century. So all different, expectations from riders, and we really have to understand what those are because a fit can be tailored to those specific expectations. Excuse me. The process of a bike fit can take upwards of 2 hours. So always making sure that when you look at the cost of a good professional bike fit, that you're taking into consideration that it could be up to 2 hours. The normal way of going about a bike fit is where a fitter will learn as much as they possibly can about you, your physiology, your history of riding, your injuries, surgeries, anything you've had to do with your limbs, extremities, anything that's been replaced or broken. We really want to explore that, because what we're really trying to do as bike fitters is take an asymmetric human being and put them on a bicycle, which is symmetric. And so there's going to be a lot of things that we have to juggle and make sure that are in line. And what we always want to tell people is that, if you do one thing, like you move the seat height up a little bit, that changes the fore and aft of the seat and also changes the relationship to the handlebars. So everything's interconnected. And when you're dealing with bike fits, it's not that you're looking at one specific thing, you're actually looking at how everything's working together. So when bike fits start, usually that kind of discoveries that we go to involves a little bit of range of motion flexibility and understanding your physiology the best that we can. Then from there, we start looking at the bicycle, make sure it's the right size, and then we start making changes. Typically, if a rider is more experienced and is clipped in, we'll start working down and around like the cleat and shoe area, making sure that we nail that down first. We really want to make sure that the knees are lining up properly. A small little deviation at the ankle or the foot can really be exaggerated as it goes up to the knee, hip, spine, that kind of stuff. From there, we work our way up the body on the bicycle, and there's very specific things we're looking for with each individual fit to make sure that we're meeting the expectations of that rider. From there, what we like to do is get some feedback. So feedback can come in many forms. The rider can simply tell us whether it feels different good, different bad, asking about pressure points and things that might not be 100% in line with their expectations or with their comfort. Once we've gone through all of that, usually takes a good chunk of time to get through that. And then we would actually have like a test ride, either on a trainer using wattage or someone's FTP. We can also do it on a road, and just, if they're a commuter or just fitness cyclists, we can just do it out on a road and get their perceived level of exertion, see if the bike is feeling like it's moving a lot smoother underneath them, and that their body doesn't have those that soreness or aches or pains that they may have had previous. So that's roughly how we kind of go through the bike fit situation. If it's a road bike, if it's a gravel bike, a commuter bike, or fitness bike. And any good fitter who's been doing fits for a number of years will definitely be able to assist you with a lot of those aspects. There's a lot of important little details like touch points, like the grips that we use, the thickness of bar tape, the saddle width, the type of pedals and shoes we use. But those are all things that a bike fitter can address at the time of the creation of an appointment. In relationship to the price of the bike, a bike fit is very, very reasonable, and can help you take your bicycle purchase and really help you maximize the investment into the bike. And then from there, you'll kind of guarantee that you're not going to end up with any overuse injuries or any discomfort, or just simply seeing that bicycle hang in a shed or a garage because it's not being used to its full potential, because the thought of being on that bike just is not desirable, and has some discomfort and maybe some painful memories associated with it. So that's the commuter fitness gravel road bike fit little segment. Hopefully you took a little bit away from that, and might actually consider a bike fit in your near future. I'll be back with part 2 shortly.